Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to J3 Entertainment, where y'all get that live and that real review. For those out there who don't know who I am J3, and I got a very special guest in the building tonight. Well, not really in the building. She came out the back in the room. My lady, Janine.
Hello,
we live
everyone.
here.
Hello. Yes, we do.
We live here. So we are here to review Quiet Place Part 2. Excuse me. A Quiet Place Part 2.
Yes.
And since the kids are gone, this is a very quiet place. Before we get into this review, I got to let y'all know, this is a spoiler review. I am spoiling this film because I cannot just not talk about this movie. I mean, me and you were sitting there at the theater and we wanted to talk about the movie. I'm like, I got to talk about Quiet Place. So, if you haven't seen the film yet and you don't want to be spoiled, thumbs up the video, subscribe, and come back. If you don't care, thumbs up the video, subscribe, and stay. Let's talk about this movie, Janine.
Okay.
You know how I like to do it. We go good or bad. Where we going?
Let's go with the good.
We're going good. Do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I'm with it. All right. One of the pros for me good for in this film is the characters. We got a little bit more thrown on us the second time around with the characters. And John Krasinski's character, Lee, was just a breath of fresh air, man. I've never seen a father like this in a very long time in film. And he was so good as a father, man. I wanted to give him a Father's Day gift. Like, if I could just go up to John Krasinski right now, just on how he wrote the character and how he was acting, this guy was just so prepared, Janine. Like, I was amazed. Like, it was like the world, stuff hit the fan, boom, he's ready.
I agree.
Get in the car, kids. We going. Everybody's running around, losing their head. He was focused the whole time. It was just, he made sure he took care of home.
I agree.
And I loved it. I was like, damn, he's good.
I agree.
Emily Blunt, man. Emily Blunt, man, she's a beautiful mother. They were just so prepared. It's like they grew up for this day.
Yeah.
It worked.
It worked. It did. Definitely.
I love the characters, man. The kids did kid things. Some stuff I was like, oh, we'll talk about that later. But for the most part, they were children.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even blame them. I'm like, damn, this is, jeez. But God damn it, John Krasinski was the shit in this, man. I really liked him in this movie. Yeah. Second time around, that's kind of hard to do because first time he was like, yo, he's good, and the second time he was even better. It's kind of hard. But I mean, if you wrote it, I'm gonna be the most epic motherfucker in this movie. Janine, what you got that's good?
I definitely agree that the characters were very good. Everything was in place. I love.
It was quiet.
I love that at that breaking point in the beginning of the movie when things started to turn and John was just in this, he was in father mode, just like you said. It was very natural. It wasn't forced. It just made sense. And then everything just kind of just flowed together. I definitely love that they did put that part in the beginning of the movie because it was not in the first one. And even talking to Jerry in the theater, I was, well, not in the theater, but in the car, I was thinking to myself, like, did I miss something? Because I don't remember that part being in the first one.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, obviously. But I love that they put that part in there. Just kind of like a little, I don't know what the word is, excerpt or something. Just kind of like, okay, let's show you what really went down. And then we're going to take you back.
Got you.
And I loved it, actually.
So the story is what you really loved.
Yes.
And you love the way they laid out the story for you.
Yes, it made sense. To me, it made sense. And I've never sat in a movie thinking like, oh my gosh, every bit made sense. Like from beginning to end, it just made sense. There was a couple of things I was like, okay.
It's a story mode.
Yeah. But and overall, I was able to get into it from beginning to end, and I like that it kept me there from beginning to end. So that's what I loved about it.
Got you. A good for me was the directing, and John Krasinski directed this movie, and he came back a second time around. I thought the directing was really cool. Showing these you got more in depth with the ear space creature, and it was great shots, like the aggressive behavior of these creatures and how the humans interacted with them. It was like, yo, this them things was don't talk around. Like the way he played it, I was really like, I told Janine, I was like, I would love to see Tony Baker do a voiceover. Oh, you want to talk? Cram! Just like, yo, like the way they directed him, like people were screaming, and the creature was like, man, shut up! Get out! Stop talking! I was like, oh, the way he directed it was really dope. I was like, man, this is tight, because you never really see animal or creatures act like that. They were so aggressive by sound, and he gave us more. They had their little clicking noise and stuff, like on World War Z and stuff. Like, it was really cool seeing that. His directing, how the kids interacted, and it still catches me even from part one. How they walked on the sand, you know, very slow and quiet, and you can see the trails and the distress in the family. You knew they just lost their dad. Like, he died like 2 days before, like after this this movie started. So how they dealt with that and how they held it in and how they understood, like, beautiful. I love that directing. I love the directing in this.
One of the things that I did notice in this one was the multiple scenes for each character as they were grouped.
Yeah, it was like a story.
Yeah, it was definitely like a story, but it was telling each
General
other's it was telling each, you know, character's story at the same time, but in different scenes as they're going through the motions of what's going on. Different situations.
Same time.
I love that they put those all at the same time, like they were going from here to here. So it was really, but it still brought you in
at the end.
Like, we here. Okay, this is the purpose of why we are all doing what we are doing. There's a reason for our actions, or there's a reason for what is really going on. So I like that part the most. And then, you know, there was a couple of other things, little things here and there that I liked, but those were the two things for sure for me.
All right, so no more good. That's good.
I mean, I could go all day with the good, but you know.
All right, well, let's go into bad. Let's talk about the bad, y'all. Janine, I think we're on the same page, but what you got that was bad? Give me something.
I don't really have a bad. I think there's certain scenes.
Got you.
That I was just like, okay, I was really trying to understand it. I wouldn't say that it doesn't make sense, but I think for me, I was trying to understand some of the scenes, like, okay, why did you do this, but now you do it. That was what was going on with
scenes
me.
Got you. So
yeah, it was the scenes.
So the bad is mostly like some of the stuff that happened in the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course I think that this movie could have went longer. To me, you know, the time frame is short. You know, especially when you're telling a story, you know, like this, where there's a change going on, you know, in the world, particularly when you're dealing with something like that. So I thought it could have been longer. You know, we could have saw a little bit more. I mean, if a movie got me from beginning to the end, I do want to see more, because I'm into it, you know, because now I'm thinking.
It's called marketing, baby. It's called marketing. Part 3 come out. We there. We want to see what else happened.
Yes.
A bad for me, honestly. I'm with you. It's mostly nitpicks, and that's just some of it, because this movie is quiet. Like, you know what I mean. And you're living through these characters who just got thrown into this new world. So the story works for me. It's just the things and the scenarios that the people do, and which is considered a nitpick. And we'll talk about it in the scenes. But for the most part, there's really no bad in here. I can say beyond the film, before the film comes out, the pandemic was a bad for this movie because I really wanted this movie back in October when it was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
I feel like the setting, it's just the audience. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like watching the movie, it was damn near empty. Granted, that's dope. It's quiet. But the second time around, everyone knows what's going on now.
Yeah.
It's that energy. You know what I mean? And I felt that that's a bad because of the way the times are in reality. You know what I mean? And the marketing of the film, you know, it's just, I just wish it was like it came out, you know, when it was supposed to and we didn't have to go through a pandemic. That's really bad for me because it was mostly nitpicking. Since we really don't have any bads, it's just mostly nitpick. Let's go in and get into the scenes. Let's talk about the scenes before we give that grade. Let's talk about what we liked and what we didn't like in the scenes. Janine, what did you like about this movie? Like, what scene did you, what scene was you digging?
The scene that I liked is when Reagan and Emmett made it to the island.
Really?
Yes.
Why? I want to know. I mean, it's just we made it here. Look. No, go ahead. I'm just teasing.
Because it almost felt like a turning point. You know, they get to the island, they made it. This was their quest. And it was a turning point. Emmett felt some kind of way because it's like, okay, what's going on? There's a lot of stuff going on there. People look happy. He sees a fire. There's no commotion. So that seemed like the turning point. Like, and I felt it. I was like, okay, things are going to go good from
You felt
there.
that hope.
Yeah, I felt hope. And then
got snatched away by an ear monster.
Day, you know, Emmett, you know, he sees something. Next thing you know, it's like, boom, you know, all of that hope just went away. But I love that scene because once again, it took me from knowing, okay, I have hope and now I don't all over again. So now I'm taking a little step back.
Yeah. For me, I ain't gonna lie. One of the coolest scenes for me, and one of the characters that I forgot to mention, the ear aid. The ear aid just really did something for me. That ear aid was just the beacon of power. I don't know, but something about that ear aid, like that little ear aid was just the best thing ever. It was a weapon, and it assists her through her journey. I don't know what kind of battery that ear aid had, but goddamn it was epic.
It's forever battery.
That ear aid went through water, Emmett's mouth. It fought off these monsters. It even put a signal through a radio station on air, Radio Disney, we all ears, and gave a sonar sound that was effing them monsters up. That ear aid was dope in this movie. I loved every scene with that ear aid. And just because I'm saying that, real talk though, I love the little details that John put on certain things, like the towel with the boiler or something like that, right?
The boiler.
Like, I told you, I said, watch that. That towel gonna mean something in a minute. And I love that. I loved all that. The little details, the details really in the scenes really progressed, and it made it more intense. And I didn't lose sight of the goal, like the characters. You know, I really love that about the scenes. What else? What scenes? What else scenes you got? Because I got a lot. Can I go?
Go ahead.
Cool. All right. So another scene that I got that I really liked. It was Emily Blunt. Very emotional scene when she walked on the bridge because she had to go back, and she walked on that bridge and she took her wedding ring off and she put it on that cross. If she wasn't there, I probably would have cried. It was sad because that's where her boy got swooped up in part 1. And they had a little memorial for him. And it was crazy because it was untouched.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, it was sad. And just Emily Blunt in every scene, just this mother, she just had a newborn baby, man. The baby crying because the baby just does that. It was just so heartwarming. Man, she's powerful, man. She got that nail in the foot. Part 1 had that baby.
Yes.
She got a shotty. She got her leg, tore the meat off that motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Strong woman. Mary Poppins, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was a that part, I was, of course, a little bit like, oh, okay. I understood because it is hard. You lost a child, you lost your husband, you have a newborn. So yeah, I understood that. So I do agree. That was the touchy part of the movie. Actually, it was a little touchy just seeing her with the baby because
that was so
yeah, because you don't know. I mean, they have to be quiet. So, a baby does a lot.
Yeah.
But that it worked, and I do like I do have a scene that I do like, and I'm probably gonna get I don't know talked about by this, but it was the part when they made it to the industrial area and the son.
I know where you're going because our show's going to talk about that. Woo!
That was cringing for me. Marcus, the son, him
with that bear trap.
They were already making noise. Okay, they were already making noise. It was a lot. And for me, it was a lot. They were already making noise. But when he got that trap, when he stepped into it, I knew it was coming.
I put my hand over my mouth. I was like...
It was just like, it's like, oh, damn, not another thing. Because now you got this baby and you got to injure. Like, where are they going to go with this? That's where my hope was lost. And then, when the daughter, Reagan decided that she was going to go and find him because she felt some type of purpose. Mm-hmm. That's where I kind of supported her on that. Cause I mean, honestly, they're kids and they want to do everything. They're at a time where they're trying to figure out where their purpose is because now the world has changed. And
I agree 100% on that. That whole scene with Marcus, like that boy Noah can scream, bruh. I felt his pain, and I didn't even get mad because some people are like, "Why are you screaming, mother? I got a bear trap on my leg."
That was a very realistic scene because I don't think any child at that moment
can endure that pain.
Nobody,
not even a grown man.
Yeah, not even no one. When you know what I mean? Like when Evelyn stepped on the nail.
Oh, that hurt. Whew.
She was able to hold her composure. Okay. But this is a trap. Okay. This is something that's, it's a little more intense. I
felt his pain. He screamed.
When he screamed, I just thought about Jerry. I was like, oh, Lord Jesus. Like, I know me, I would have been like, shh, come.
No, I wouldn't. I'd have been like, no. Nah, I felt his pain, man. That little boy. These kid actors are really good, man. Because I was just watching, I think Law and Order, and I was like, this kid sucks. Not this kid, the kid on Law and Order. But these kids right here, dope actors and actresses. They did their thing. What scene you didn't like?
It was when they got to, and I don't know if the deck, approaching the deck, and they get to that point, they're looking for a boat to get to the island, and
figures.
Emmett gets caught up in basically trying to help this little girl, and immediately, and I know for Jerry, he felt the same way. I just knew it was a setup.
I would have shot that kid, man.
It didn't make any sense. Like, this is a little girl sitting there. First of all, she's sitting there like this. Yeah, she looks helpless, but I ain't falling for that.
Not at that time.
I'm not falling for that.
I would have preferred a naked lady over a little kid.
Yeah, I'm not falling for that. And the reason why is because Emmett put it out there in the midst earlier in the movie that people changed. Yeah. He put it out there, and
he gonna fall for the number one trap.
He gonna fall for the okie doke. of the information he gave to everybody else. So it was that right there. It kind of just wasn't. I wasn't feeling it.
I understand. It's crazy because I get you. I understand because it's like it had to go with the story for it to play out. But that's when it comes to a point where it's like certain scenarios shouldn't work in that sense.
Yeah.
At least if she was crying and she was like, if she had said something that gave him a motive to even approach him, because it's the same man that saw his neighbors running for their life and did not come save him.
Yeah.
And he literally went to go help a little girl who wasn't even speaking to him. So
I mean, it's
your
like
priorities
you
effed up,
see
bro.
a brand new dog, or you see a dog, and you put your hand out, and you know you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, it's Cujo.
He went for a come on, I got you, and it's like, what are you doing?
And how she put that thing around. I don't want to get to.
Yeah,
I don't want to overthink that. Let me go on something I didn't like. It's a nitpick, but Amistad Jaman, right?
Jaman,
yes. Right? So, Island, y'all seen this. Shit hits the fan. He goes straight military. Like, he's that dude. Doing his thing, all this stuff, making it happen. Nostrils wide, breathing all the air in. I saw it.
His
it's like,
was
yo,
on point.
he was like, here. Took his son, went in the house. He had that firm African look, like, don't move. I'll be back.
He did.
I was like, yo, he finna do some shit. Where that gun at? It's finna go down. Went in the car, driving, getting the seat. I'm like, oh, snap, he really in there. Doing everything.
About that life.
Gets to the radio station and, like, curls up. Wait, what am I doing? Wait, where is he at? My family. So, oh, shit. It was like, what happened? Did your steroids go away? Like, what happened? Like, he just froze. Like, I guess, like, you never know. It's just the way it looks. Because you don't know what you might do in that scenario, right?
Yeah.
But it was just like, damn, I wanted so much from him. And he was giving it to me. He just ran out of gas.
Yeah.
And he died for it.
Yeah.
I didn't like that.
For that scene, it was just, it was almost like he lost, like he took a pill and then he came to his senses. I just didn't understand it.
Shit got real. I'm out.
I knew it was going to end from there because he took a step back and I was like, it's all over.
Yeah. And he black. We all know black people don't go to edges. No.
And he gave a sense of hope because when he was talking to Emmett, he was saying, the day of, we got on the boat. So it was like,
ironic.
All right.
Amistad got on the boat. All right. Okay. All right, last thing I didn't like was Reagan when she decided to go on her journey. I understood why, and I got it.
Yeah.
But lady, girl, little child,
she's still a kid.
You can't hear. And you're walking and stepping on broken leaves and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you can't hear. I was like, but I guess she had faith in that old hearing aid. The hearing aid epic, bro. She took she had her amplifier and her hearing aid and a gun. She was like, let's go. I'm ready to ride. I was like, all right, I'll roll with it, man. Shout out to you, John, for that. But she did her thing though, man. She wasn't no punk. I'll tell you that much. She wasn't no punk.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that scene was meant for what it was meant for.
Yeah.
So, I don't have a lot to say about that
was
one.
Epic, bro.
Yeah.
I want one of those hearing aids as a relic on J3 Entertainment. I want to put the hearing aid right there and put it in a little jar. A Quiet Place Part 2 hearing aid.
Right.
Yep. I want an autograph too.
Yeah.
I want it. I want that hearing aid. That hearing aid epic. It has so many fashions to it. Go in the back of the head. It's dope.
Yeah.
It was tight. It was dope.
Yeah.
All right.
It had a meaning. It definitely had a meaning to it, particularly at the end. So,
the hearing aid of doom. All right. Let's give this movie a grade, Janine. What do you give Quiet Place Part 2?
I am at, and I don't think this movie at all is perfect. I'm at a solid B.
B.
Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. A Quiet Place Part 2, good film. Really enjoyed it. To me, it's not better than Part 1. I thought Part 1 was a much better film, but I think that's because it's the beginning.
Yeah.
Usually when you have a beginning and you get shocked, because when I saw A Quiet Place Part 1, I didn't even know what I was watching. I just walked in and bought a ticket and watched it. So I was like, yo, this was crazy. I really dig this movie. So coming in and knowing what I'm going to get to a degree kind of took away from me, but it's not the movie's fault. That's just me knowing things. That's why I stayed away from the trailers.
Right.
But A Quiet Place Part 2 isn't it better than Part 1, but it is a hell of a sequel. Emily Blunt and John, dope. The kids, dope. It just some things are like, what the hell? But it is a movie, and I had a lot of fun. You can actually obviously watch the movie with your lady, your loved ones, family. It was kids in there, and everybody was quiet. The atmosphere was dope. It just I really wish we were back then. You know what I mean? This pandemic. I'm gonna give A Quiet Place a B+.
Okay.
Damn!
I gave it a B+ because the movie overall is just a good movie. It's a great time. Everybody will enjoy it. It's for all shapes and sizes, because even the small kids can watch it, because it's not really severe. It's just injuries, some deaths, but you don't really acknowledge it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he gone. But for the most part, I had a lot of fun watching this movie. This will be purchased. Can't wait for the release. That's the review, guys. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and push the subscribe button, thumbs up the video, and don't forget to share Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I want to thank Janine for joining me on this review. This is her first time on YouTube, guys. I think she did a good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And with that, we out.